Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down every single clip of Kamal Hadden at the NFL Combine. Did he help his draft stock? Did he hurt his draft stock? We're going to get into all of that, but before we do us a big favor and like and subscribe to the channel. All right, so first let's take a look at Kamal Hadden's profile on NFL.com. Most of this stuff we've already seen, okay? Now, these measurements are actually official. He did come in at 6'1", 196 pounds. He was listed at 197, but that little pound is not going to make any difference at all. The biggest thing is he's showing good length here. Now, as you move on down, okay, and you look at his, overall scores in different areas, some of these scores went down. Like I think that his athlete score may have dwindled some, and this actually happened prior to the combine. So one of the things that we did see today is that he didn't participate in any of the on-the-field drills. Not quite sure why. Usually that happens just because he wasn't quite ready yet. Okay, he did have a shoulder fracture and he missed the final 6 games of the season. I'm just kind of scrolling through so that y'all can see what the analysts at NFL.com are saying about Kamal. But all that we're going to be breaking down today is what we had to work with, which is his on-the-field drills. And I think that he did pretty solid in that aspect of the combine. All right, so I'm going to tell you what the drill is that Kamal Hadden is doing, what the scouts are going to be looking for. Is he doing it right or not? How does he look compared to the other players that he went up against? I'll kind of, slow it down some, but then I'll also let you see it full speed so that you can see how he looked. So in this drill right here, okay, Kamal is going to start off backpedaling, then he's going to open one way, he's going to open up the other way, then he's going to open all the way up, and he's going to be running vertically, and he's going to catch the football at the end of this drill. So the main thing that the scouts are going to be looking for are his hips. Is he smooth in opening up his hips from side to side? That's very important for a cornerback. Obviously, all of these drills are going to, be emphasizing the key fundamentals of playing cornerback in the NFL. So let's go ahead and let this thing roll. All right. So first off, Kamal Hadden's backpedal looks good. His hip transitions are really good. Okay, he does a great job. He kind of stumbled coming out of that second one, but you can tell that he's got some really good hips. His hips are not stiff, and he finishes this drill well. He catches this football, okay, and he sprints all the way through. Now I'm going to run this back from the top, and we'll just kind of let it go through so that we can see it without any interruptions. But look, good feet, again, good hips from both sides, every single angle. And he, again, he finishes this drill well, shows that burst, shows that speed, shows some good hands. So I think that he performed well in this drill. I wouldn't say that he looked above average, at least not in this rep, but there was some players that looked very clumsy. I would say that his hips are probably more fluid than probably 85% of the cornerbacks that we saw go today. All right, so this is the exact same drill from the other side. We already know what we're looking for. We'll go ahead and let it roll. This one looks a lot more fluid. Okay, he looks a lot smoother going through that one. The only thing that I will say, okay, as we run this back is right here at the end. Okay, first off, look, his hip transitions are beautiful. That was one of the best reps at this drill the entire day. But at the end, what he's got to do a better job of is running through the football. You don't want to jump up and, catch the ball with your stomach. Stuff like that, that looks very non-athletic. And cornerbacks are the most athletic players on a football field. So I don't think that he did a good job finishing out this drill. But again, you can see the talent that Kamal Hadden has just in going through the drill. He is a good athlete. He's just got to work on being able to catch, maybe trusting himself a little bit more in catching these footballs. All right, and I'm going to let you see it all the way through uninterrupted. And his transitions look great. Just got to finish a little bit better with that catch. All right, so this drill is very, very similar. Kamal's going to start off in a slow back pedal. He's going to open up his hips one way, open them up again, and then he is going to break at a 45-degree angle and high point a deep pass. This is pretty much looking for the exact same things, okay? How do you look in your transitions with your hips? But boom, that right there was really nice. I love it, okay? I love to see this. Watch this again, okay? Like watch as he goes through on this one right here, boom, okay? Once he breaks out of this one and then he explodes here, watch his outside, or I'm sorry, yeah, watch this foot, right? As it boom, plants it to the ground, and then, he's able to come back with his knee over and opens up his hips beautifully. I think that that's textbook. And then they also want to see, what does your speed look like? Boom, there it is. What's your speed look like whenever you're going to get this football? And can you locate it and make the catch and then finish strong? He can't locate it, doesn't make the catch, but I'm going to go ahead and play it back, okay? from the beginning, uninterrupted, and I'll just kind of talk through it. So boom, we already know what to look for. Really nice hips. Does a great job. Okay, explodes to the football, looks good. Just got to make that catch, but at least he does sprint out and finish that drill. Now, this is the W drill where you're going to backpedal, boom, break up to this cone, backpedal, boom, break up to that cone, and then finish through. And this is a drill that if you've watched the combine at all in recent years, then you've heard Deion Sanders or Primetime Coach Prime, whatever you want to call him at this point, talk about the Roadrunner feet and not allowing your body to stop. Some people like that T-step better. I don't think that it necessarily matters. I do like the Roadrunner feet a little bit more because I do think that it helps you be more fluid in the transition in and out of your break. But if you can do it with the T-step, then that's fine. The biggest thing is, can you explode out of your break and cover ground to the cone? Now, let's see what Kamal Hadden does here. First off, very smooth arm, and that's really nice. Okay, that is really nice. Boom. Okay, the second one wasn't that great. Kind of got stuck some, but he does make this catch, and he's going to finish strong, and we will rewind it and start from the beginning. So first break, boom, that looks pretty good. This one right here, no, I mean, that looks okay. It doesn't look great. You'll like to see maybe a little bit more explosion out of it, but what I do like is that he looked very smooth, okay? He didn't like he was trying too hard. So I think that that's going to be a good look for scouts at the combine. I think that he was probably one of the better players in this drill as well. All right, so here we're going to get a little back pedal, open up your hips. Right here, there's going to be a cone, and then he's going to explode this way out of the cone at a 45-degree angle. This is kind of, showing how you would look if you were trying to defend an out route or, like an outside comeback route, something like that. But let's go ahead and let this thing roll. I don't think I'm going to need to stop this one because Kamal looks really smooth in this. Okay, boom, opens up his hips. Boom, okay, gets out of his transition well. It wasn't phenomenal, okay? It wasn't incredible, but again, he doesn't look terrible. I would say that he does look above average out of the players that were participating at the combine today in doing this drill. So I think that, that was pretty solid, does make the catch, and then, he's able to explode into the end zone. All right, in this drill, Kamal is going to backpedal, explode to the inside, and then he's got to break back to the outside. This is showing, what a cornerback has to do if they are trying to cover someone that's running what we called a curly Q route. And it's one of the hardest routes to cover in man-to-man coverage. But every single team runs this in the NFL, especially around that goal line. So it's important that you look good in and out of your transition. So let's see. Kamal, again, looks very smooth. Looks good right there. Right there, that was okay. All right, like that little break right there, that wasn't great. That was just okay. You would maybe like to see a little bit more explosiveness out of his breaks. I'm just going to let this one run all the way through. See, he kind of gets stuck right there. That's a little bit too slow. But, he does make the catch. He does finish it. I think he needs to work on a couple of things. Getting in and out of his breaks sometimes does not look as explosive as it should. I don't know who he's been working with, but, we'll touch more on his overall performance at the end of this video. All right, so this is another transition drill, and Kamal is going to backpedal, explode up to the cone, come around it, come up this way, and then explode through here. And again, it's just all about how quickly can he get in and out of these breaks. Let's go ahead and let it roll. Boom. Okay. So look, that was actually really nice. Let me go back to that because I want for y'all to see this. This is that Roadrunner that I was just talking about where you keep your feet going, pop, 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 pop. Okay, and then come out. So this looks good. I like this. Boom, out of there. Okay, and then okay, so that was pretty solid, right? I saw some of the cornerbacks look terrible doing this today. I think this is the first time that I've seen them do this drill at the NFL Combine, and I don't feel like the players were too prepared for it, but Kamal looks pretty straight doing this, right? And he's DB number 12, so he was the 12th guy to go in this drill. And so, he got to see some other people go before, and I think that helped him out tremendously just in knowing what to do. Now, we will play it back one more time all the way through, starting from right here. Boom, okay. That kind of still ended up being like a T-step, but I liked whether his feet kept churning right there. And he does the same thing where he jumps up and catches that football with his stomach. I think he needs to work on a couple things before his pro day. All right, and this is the last drill. This is the gauntlet. Usually we see the wide receivers doing this, but this year they've got the secondary guys doing it too. I think that that's okay. I don't feel like any team is going to put a whole lot of stock in cornerbacks not making these catches. Okay, it's not that big of a deal because the biggest thing is going to be, can you cover obviously making the catch, making an interception is really the icing on the cake. But the transitional portion of this entire deal was more important. Anyway, we all know what the gauntlet is. He's going to turn around, make a catch behind them, then he's going to make another catch behind them, and he's going to run straight down this line. You want to stay straight down the line. Doing a good job, right? You want to stay on your feet. You want to move fast. He missed that one. Something else that they said was that this drill is timed, so they want to make sure that you're not kind of like slowing down to catch the ball, but you kind of have to, depending on who's throwing it to you and how they're throwing it. If they're taking too long to throw it, and if you're running out of field, like what looks like is happening right now for Kamal Hadden, you've got to throttle it down. So some of these drills I think are kind of silly. But anyway, Kamal Hadden does finish strong on that. And as promised, we will start the whole thing over and we'll let you just see it uninterrupted from start to finish. So again, you want to stay close to the line. Kamal does a good job with that, okay? He does show good hands. He looks pretty effortless catching and does a good job getting up the field. So one of the biggest factors in how high a cornerback is drafted are their test numbers. And since Kamal didn't test today, he's going to have to do a great job in his test at his pro day or at his individual workouts. And the 40 time, I believe, is going to be the most important. I think that the top 40 time was a 4.28 for the cornerbacks today. And the number 10 time was like a 4.44. And I will have the top 10, combine numbers from all of the cornerbacks in all of the different drills for y'all to see, about where Kamal needs to be trying to shoot for if he does want to get drafted. I think that he needs to try to shoot for about a, 4.35 is somewhere in the mid 4.3s if he wants to get picked as high as I thought that he could kind of coming into this whole thing, because there were some cornerbacks that were, kind of highly rated that tested in the 4.5s, but they're going to go to their pro days and they're probably going to improve on those times. So I would say that for Kamal to kind of separate himself, he's going to have to be definitely a sub 4.4 guy, but I would say kind of moving more towards the middle of that, if not more towards the lower end. And I don't know if he can actually do that. I think he's like a low 4.4 to maybe a higher 4.3 guy, but that's where he's going to have to get to if he wants to get drafted. Now, overall, though, in the drills that he did participate in, I think that he did a pretty solid job. I would say that he was definitely one of the better players as far as being fluid with his hips, getting in and out of his breaks, just kind of like knowing what to do. He definitely had some of the better hands. We did see a couple of drops, but we know that cornerbacks and, secondary players usually don't have the best hands. But, he was definitely one of the better guys. There was several drops from, again, some highly touted players that I don't think performed that great. So I do think that Kamal has a good chance to get drafted. He just has to finish strong. And, we'll see how everything plays out over like the next month or so. He's going to have to put in a whole lot of work. And I really hope that he can get himself healthy enough to feel comfortable to go out there and, again, test well. That's so big because you could have a great film, and if you test poorly, your stock will drop. You could have a mediocre film, and you test very well, and your stock will rise. The cornerback is just one of those positions where being a good athlete means a lot more than anything else. So we'll see how everything plays out, but that's it for this video, and thank y'all for staying all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, other volunteer fans. Stay tuned because tomorrow we will also have 2 more Tennessee Vol players in Joe Milton and Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright should be a very interesting combine. We're expecting for him to blow that 40 up, but that's it. Thank y'all. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.